With spring roses comes injury reports. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and thank you very much for clicking on this video. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting a whole lot of injury reports between now and opening day. It's just how spring training works, and today we're talking about the very first one we've really gotten from this Red Sox team, what these injuries mean, how long these guys could end up being out for, and whether or not it's going to have an impact on the 2025 season. I did want to start with something that kind of injury related, I guess. This morning, the Red Sox officially put Patrick Sandoval on their 60-day IL. Kind of nothing that we didn't expect, right? I think most of us would have been shocked if he wasn't on the 60-day IL. Not really the reason I'm bringing it up, to be honest with you. The reason I'm bringing it up is because the reason he was placed on the 60-day IL today, besides the fact that he is injured, is because the Red Sox officially announced their signing of Alex Bregman. He's here. He's in the Red Sox camp, and I got to tell you, he looks really good in a Red Sox uniform. For those of you who are interested in watching his press conference, that'll be tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Real early in the morning, if you ask me, but we'll make it work. He's going to wear number 2 with the Red Sox. Kind of cool. I love the number 2 for the Red Sox. He was number 2 over the Astros. It just sort of makes sense. This isn't what this video is about, Corbin. Move on. I did just want to give you guys a quick update. Now, in terms of the actual injury news that we're talking about today, Alex Cora gave us a couple in his press conference yesterday, and the first one was about Brayan Bello because he said, according to Alex Cora, he's been shut down for the last couple of days with minor shoulder soreness. He is back up and throwing again, but is a bit behind schedule as of right now. This morning, we did get another update from Bello himself via Christopher Smith, and Bello said that he felt some soreness working out in the DR last week before heading here. He's feeling good now and did have scans and will be back throwing tomorrow. That's a really, really good sign, right? The fact that Brayan Bello got scans done, there was nothing really there that shut him down totally, and he's going to be back up and throwing tomorrow, kind of lends me to believe that there's nothing really here, right? That this could end up being one of those injuries that we just sort of forget about by the time opening day comes. A lot of people, when I make these kind of videos in the spring, go, why do we care, right? What's the meaning of this? There's a month and a half to opening day. These are probably nothing burgers. And you know what? The hope is that all of these are nothing burgers. The hope that every time I give you guys an injury update, it means absolutely nothing for the regular season for the Sox, but it's part of spring training, and I do want to keep you guys updated. It's something to pay attention to as we start to get into legitimate everyday games, while we start to get into more publicized workouts and stuff like that. We're going to be getting more injury updates, and it's important that these guys end up staying healthy. So even small injury updates are worth keeping an eye on. Bello's going to be an important part of this rotation. So yes, of course, we want to stay as informed as humanly possible as to whether or not he's actually going to be healthy and able to impact this team this 2025 season. Again, this one really doesn't sound like anything that's super crazy. Alex Cora really played it down a whole lot, right? He was very confident that this was nothing to worry about, that this is going to have no effect on him being able to start opening day, but he is a couple of days behind in his schedule, so we'll probably won't see him in game action for a little bit after some of the other guys in this rotation. Again, just something to really keep an eye on and pay attention to. Just to sum it up a little bit, shoulder soreness, did get a scan of the shoulder, and there's nothing really impactful there, which is absolutely fantastic. It means there was no inflation, there was no tear, there was no pull. Absolutely great news. Bello should be up and running again very, very soon. So nothing super crazy to talk about here. Now, the other one that came into effect yesterday was Alex Cora talking about Kutter Crawford, and to me, this one is a little bit different. Now, the official diagnosis about Kutter Crawford was that he was behind other pitchers as well due to some patellar tendon soreness, which is a scientific way of saying he has knee soreness. The exact quote from Alex Cora was, quote, "Kutter is a little bit behind. It's been going on through the offseason, so he's behind in his throwing program. I don't know what that means as far as like a month and a half from now, but right now he's behind everyone else." This one, at least to me, based on the fact that there is an official diagnosis, right? With Bello, it was more so just, he's a little sore. This one, because it is a legitimate diagnosis that it's patellar tendon soreness, is a little bit more serious in my eyes. It's not only that, but it's also the fact that he's been dealing with it for a while. Alex Cora mentions the offseason as a time where he had been dealing with it, but he also mentioned the fact that Kutter had been dealing with this throughout the year as well and used this offseason as a bit of a rehab time to try and get that knee soreness back in order. So the fact that it isn't, to me, again, you talk about what do we pay attention to over the next few weeks here. This is something to absolutely pay attention to. Are they going to fully shut him down? He is throwing in the backfields, at least for now, right? There is some footage of him throwing BPs and just side sessions in the backfield for the Red Sox. So it doesn't look like he's totally shut down from throwing, but how much is this going to interrupt his timeline to be ready for opening day? Are the Red Sox going to want to push him in order to put him on this opening day roster? Are they going to start him on the 10-day, 15-day? I think that is a possibility at this point if it's been something that's been bothering him for a very long period of time. But the beauty of this for the Red Sox is that the depth they've built over this offseason and last offseason in this rotation makes this concerning, absolutely, because you want Kutter to start opening day, obviously, or not start opening day. That's going to be Hauker Crochet, but be with the team opening day. But even if he can't be, you've got legitimate backup options. In the past, guys went down and it was like, okay, looks like we're moving Winkowski out of the bullpen and he's going to throw a 5 ERA. We're just going to have to deal with it until these guys get back. Or we're going to have Criswell, who was actually pretty solid, but couldn't go more than 4.5, 5 innings, take over a position in the rotation. This year, you've got legitimate pieces like Priester and Fitz. Specifically, Cora mentioned Priester as someone he's really excited about, saying that he came into camp and really caught his eye because of how strong he got. To the show we go, an excellent baseball podcast. If you guys are looking for a more baseball-focused podcast, had Woo Sox manager Chad Tracy on during the offseason, and he also talked about Priester, the fact that he went from 92 miles an hour coming into the Red Sox system and finished the year in Worcester, averaging 96, 97 miles an hour. Priester's a guy who really took a big step forward last year in minor league baseball. He's coming into camp stronger than ever. This is what I'm talking about. The Red Sox built out this incredible depth. So not only if Kutter does end up having to start the year on the IL, do you still have 5 extremely competent starters in this rotation in Crochet, Buehler, Houck, Bello, and Giolito, but you also have other options as well if you do want to start the year with a 6-man rotation, right? It doesn't screw you so much with an injury in this rotation like it had in years past. This is a very, very good place for the Red Sox to put themselves in, and this is a prime example of why. So honestly, again, you look at whether or not this is going to impact the 2025 season, I don't know, right? We still have a month and a half until spring training starts. Everything could change. Nothing could change in between that time. It does pique my sort of injury radar a little bit as someone who has covered a whole lot of injuries with this Red Sox team. The fact that he has been dealing with this since last season and throughout the entirety of the offseason as something that they may want to be a little bit cautious about as they move forward throughout spring training here, which may end up delaying his debut through the 2025 season a little bit. So I don't know. This one to me is a little bit more serious than the Brayan Bello one. It's something to be paying a bit more attention to for sure. But again, I go back to that depth, and it makes me feel really good that the Red Sox have legitimate options in order to take over Kutter Crawford's place here, if need be, of course. Hopefully that doesn't end up happening, but those options are absolutely there. At the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of this video, we're going to get a lot of these before regular season kicks off. Spring training is a time where guys are getting back onto the mound a little bit or getting back onto the field a little bit. They're going to end up with some soreness. They're going to tweak some things, but you got a month and a half till opening day. So right now, these injuries shouldn't be something we panic about, shouldn't be something that we sit here and really put a ton of time into. Again, the only purpose of these in today's video is to just keep you guys as informed as humanly possible on everything going on with the Red Sox. That's what I love to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do here on Red Seat Radio. I did want to end this video by giving you guys a bit of an update on some of the players that were injured coming out of last season and where they are coming into this season, starting with Liam Hendriks, who has been throwing bullpen sessions, who has been doing long toss like you're seeing on this video right here, who has been doing basically normal relieving, building up stuff coming into a regular season. He looks healthy, he looks ready to go, and he's he's definitely going to be someone who's fighting for that closer role come spring training. So it's good to see him back on the mound. I also wanted to include Garrett Whitlock in this as well, show you guys some footage of him throwing a live bullpen session, which is fantastic. It puts him in line with every other reliever vying for one of these bullpen spots. Needed to see this from Garrett Whitlock. There was, for some reason, some people who believed that Garrett Whitlock was not going to be available come opening day. In fact, there were some people who were saying he was going to be on the 60-day IL to start the regular season. Does not appear to be the case. The fact that he's already doing live bullpens tends to lead me to believe that he is right in line with every other reliever. And finally, I did want to put in a video here of Lucas Giolito putting in some work before spring training really truly kicks off here. There are a couple things I want to point out here. One, the dude is growing one hell of a beard. He looks like an absolute grizzly man right now. Fantastic beard, Lucas. But two, he's also kind of in line with everyone else right now. He hasn't thrown a live bullpen session, so that should be something that is coming up in the next week or so. We'll be excited to see kind of what he looks like during that. But the fact that he is throwing again, doing his regular routines, getting himself ready for pitching again in Major League Baseball is a fantastic sign. So all three of those guys who people for some reason don't believe are healthy, are actually healthy and pitching again for the Boston Red Sox. So I do want to continuously update you guys on that one as well. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of all of this? What do you think about the Bello stuff? What do you think about the Kutter stuff? Is there one in here that you're paying attention to more than the other? Is anything concerning to you right now? Or are you just sort of like, look, when they hit the IL, then we'll have a conversation. But until then, this is just sort of information. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just simply helps out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you guys want to listen instead of watch these episodes, the best way to do that is to head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.